What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy CD, aka Super Saiyan God Chris. We got when Pain jumped the life out of the Six Tails and record breaking. This is why you should watch Naruto Shippuden fillers. They get straight to reaction. Honestly, one of my favorite Cherokees. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, so boom! The scene kicks off with the Six Tails and his apprentice Hotaru walking through this beautifully green open field. They just wrapped up a very underrated arc where Naruto had to protect Hotaru's forbidden Kinjutsu from falling into the wrong hands. So now, with a new level of joy and determination, which usually happens after a long encounter with Naruto, the two of them are ready to stop running and hiding from their past. So Utakata stops her and says,
"Will you wait here for me? I'm meeting the Anbu Black Ops. I'm tired of all this running. I want to get permission to travel and train you."
I bet you are. Travel and train. You're trying to train that Punani. You are not slick. We peeped how you were acting that whole arc. This was definitely more than just a master and apprentice relationship. Cause I promise you, if Jiraiya was acting the same way with Naruto, he would be buried under the jail. Nonetheless,
Alright. Okay. First off, it won't happen, okay? Second, he's like a god dad to Naruto, okay? That is just ridiculous.
Hotaru enthusiastically agrees to stay put, so Utakata begins to head into the forest. Once he arrives, he eagerly decides to send out a messenger bubble, but to his dismay and confusion, he was met with no reply. So in a state of worry, he begins to investigate the area and look for some clues. But in the time it takes Choji to finish a 7-course meal, he quickly finds a bloody Anbu mask. Now the bloody mask is one thing, but it was the background music that started to play that really would have made me explosive diarrhea in that Versace kimono. Once you hear that theme, you know it's raps. The Six Tail, Christian Bale, Diddy's in jail. It does not matter. Pain in
Lakers in 5. I'm sorry, I had to.
Or like, don't even try to fight at that point. Just start crying for help. I'm blowing on that bubble pipe like my life depends on it, which it obviously does.
I'm gonna be. Wait, he did?
Because when this man turned around, we see 6 niggas posted up in the shadows eyeing him down like the last bit of crack in a room full of addicts. Utakata starts the conversation off by asking if it was him who killed the Anbu he was supposed to meet up with today. But Pain doesn't even dignify that negative 2 IQ question with a response. Did you eat the last cookie? No, he just got a crumb beard on his face for no reason and a half full glass of milk beside him. The f do you think? No, they just in the back looking at you, looking at the mask for fun. Pain, now annoyed at his sorry ass question, jumps straight to the point and says,
"I need the tailed beast. It's inside you."
Then raises his hand towards Utakata and shoots 5 missiles at him. The missiles look like they did some damage, so the 6 Pains begin to walk him down with the most poise and confidence you could possibly imagine. But the Six Tails refuses to go out like a hoe, so instead of staying on his knees while begging for mercy, he pops up and hits us with a very Predator-like scream. Hold on though, he actually might be ready to cook. That scream was very main character-esque. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought this was his show. Utakata wastes no time getting into version 1 state, but Pain's not intimidated in the slightest. This nigga eats Jinchurikis for breakfast. He's gonna have to summon Satan himself to scare him off.
I'm gonna be honest, Utakata should have just used the bubble to dip. I'm sorry. And second, how far away was to the battlefield to the girl? Cause you mean you told me you didn't hear the explosion in the background. I forgot her name, but you didn't tell me you hear the explosion going on in the background.
Finally kicks off the fight by launching all 6 of his tails at him, but they all quickly jump out the way. Baldy Pain then rips off his arm in preparation to blow this bitch down, while each of the 2 other paths summon the King of Hell and this special egg chameleon. With everybody now in position, the Diva Path yells out go, and they all begin to charge at him. The Pain with the bust down orange 30-inch silk press charges in first, then stabs one of the 6 tails with his rod. So Utakata tries to blow him away with a hot blast of steam, but the Pain that looks like he frequently attends buffets jumps in front of the blast and blocks the blow. Utakata's waist then quickly begins to shrink like he got on an invisible waist train, and now he's mysteriously floating to the sky. But it's soon revealed that he wasn't actually floating. It was in fact the special ed chameleon that had him in his grasp, and a tight one at that. Because after struggling for a little bit, he collapses on the chameleon's tongue and concedes to its strength. But not long after collapsing, he remembered that he can't die yet. He still got got that forbidden coochie waiting for him that he has yet to indulge in, so he pops back up and kicks it into third gear. He then quickly escapes the chameleon's grasp with ease, and in the blink of an eye, he's back on the ground tearing through the guts of Big Back Pain and Mr. Silk Press. The chameleon tries to wrap him up with his tongue.
I'm gonna be honest. I honestly thought that he actually did got him after doing that, cause I was like, no, that was way before Jiraiya death. Cause I was like, oh, please get these two niggas, please, for the gods in Naruto. Hashirama, please make sure them two are actually dead. But you know,
Again, but this time the Jinchuriki wraps around
well,
his tongue.
technically they are dead. If we're being technical, they are dead. Yahiko is technically dead. It's just that, somewhat second chance life.
Raises his body to temperatures so high that the chameleon had to clock out the fight. The two other paths swoop in to save the two other banged up members. And now the Six Tails is on all fours growling, ready for the main course. Okay,
should've dipped.
Show him how it's done. That's that triple P right there.
I'm sorry, but I respect the courage to keep fighting, but I would have dipped. Hit it with the leaf? Oh yeah, I'm going there. But then again, they might kidnap the girl, so for ransom, the Jinchuriki or the girl, so
Power of the Poom Poom. I'm telling you, girls really do run the world. Niggas will move mountains and start wars just for the right woman. And Utakata is no better. He just took out two paths in the blink of an eye. That is not an easy feat. Now, as salty as I am with pain for reasons that I refuse to mention before I break down right now and start crashing out, he's never been one to run from the smoke. So when Utakata non-verbally called for the ISO, he was ready to step up to bat. So he jumped off that branch and dared him to run up. And that's exactly what the Six Tail did. But as soon as he got within striking distance, Pain raised his hand and hit him with the infamous almighty push. The Six Tails then starts launching whole trees at him with perfect precision. And I'm not exaggerating, nigga would've went D1 in javelin for sure. Look at this form. But of course, before they could hit him, Pain stopped the trees with his same tired ass move. Before the trees could even drop to the ground, this nigga Utakata is zipping through the air hoping to catch him off guard. But unfortunately for him, the Diva Path jumped out the way just in time, then threw 6 rods at him to pin down his tails. And this is when the jumping got out of hand. Because not even a full second after getting hit with those rods, 1, 2, 3, 4,
you
5,
stupid.
6, 18 million missiles come zooming in towards him, causing a ginormous explosion. Nigga didn't even let the rod suck up all the chakra yet. But to put the icing on the cake, Baldy Pain unfolds his head and creates an even bigger blast. And now I'm certain that Utakata is indeed cooked. 3 of the Pains then approach the newly formed gaping hole in the earth to make sure they actually got him this time. And that is when we see Utakata buried under the giant pile of rocks. The debris and destruction from this fight was so bad that it even took the cameraman a couple minutes to locate where this nigga was. 2 more seconds of looking around and I'm sure he thought Pain was gonna knock him out too. But thankfully, he tightened up and avoided Pain's fury. Utakata, on the other hand, is now on his last legs. Or should I say last arms, cause Lord knows his lower half is the consistency of freshly pressed juice right now. The banged up Jinchuriki decides to use his last bit of energy to send a message to Hotaru, talking about some,
Please, Hotaru, you have to live.
brother, do you want to live? Hotaru will be straight. She's not the one with no legs right now. This tell my mom I love her ass bar. Only I get the luxury of saying I'd give up early. You don't. Start chucking some rocks or something down. You can't go out
Bro
like
should
this.
chuck up
And
some
hold on,
rocks.
if we really think about it, Hotaru does not even like you for real. You're telling me all these violent Hiroshima type explosions are going off a couple miles from her and she didn't feel not one rumble. Just up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the battlefield must be 20,000, 100 million yards away. Because you mean to tell me you didn't hear not one explosion, 2 explosion, 1,800 rockets explode. Like, it makes no sense. You mean to tell me you didn't hear none of that stuff? And where you at, where she at right now, there is no type of civilization. You know what I'm saying? So how you didn't hear none of that stuff? Like how? And the bubbles just randomly come at you, not like that, but just random bubbles everywhere. You never not once it was like, if the bubbles are here, but Utakata's not, where is he? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense.
There, kick up on a rock, swinging her feet with not a care in the world. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I smell a setup. Now, as much resilience as he showed in the beginning of the fight, unfortunately for him and us who wanted to see more action, that bubble was indeed the last bubble he ever blew alive, giving Pain yet another W. Overall, a slept-on fight. As short as it was, seeing Pain battle and capture another Jinchuriki was actually very refreshing. I high-key wish we got fights like this for every Jinchuriki in the series, but you know what?
The second Jinchuriki guy did worse. I'm gonna be honest. I thought she had that in the bag a little bit, but her death, oh my god, and she was a baddie too. But her death, oh my god. And also they were both immortal, so she still would have lost.
I'm just gonna add it to the list of complaints that I have when I pull up Takeshi's house. The Six Tails Jinchuriki gets an A- for low-key getting busy with Pain. He was even winning for a minute after he sliced up the 2 paths. But as predicted, he was no match for all 6 paths combined. Hotaru gets an F. I know she wasn't in the fight, but I'm still giving her a grade for being so oblivious. Your nigga is getting packed up just a few miles away while you're basking in the sun. If you don't go find him and bust out that forbidden jutsu, nah, his death is partly on you. And finally, Pain gets an A. I couldn't bring myself to give him the A+ simply because the constant jumping deserves a point deduction. But if we're being honest, any fight with this menace is always a recipe for peak combat.
Yeah. In the words of Jay on TikTok, nuff this nigga! Nuff that nigga Pain! Alright guys, in this video, hope you guys like it, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. His videos are hilarious.